13 Action News at 6 starts right now.
You're watching 13 Action News now.
The last day of scheduled talks between teachers and school administrators has come to a close. So what's next? That's tonight's top story. Good evening, everyone. The turmoil continues between Toledo teachers and administrators.
Negotiators for both sides wrapped up their third day of talks behind closed doors, but still no contract tonight. So where do they go from here? 13 Action News reporter Rebecca Rainier joins us live with a look. Rebecca?
Well, Diane, they sat down at the bargaining table again today, and the first positive steps may have been taken. Yesterday, it looked grim with the union telling us that they were alarmed by the slow progress of the talks. But today, they agreed to keep talking.
We are discussing real issues, and we're discussing them in a factual context, and that is good.
Today, the teachers union and negotiators for the Toledo Public Schools seemed to have edged closer on at least one issue: discipline.
We've exchanged proposals again. Both parties had significant changes from the positions yesterday, consistent with the discussions that we had.
But it's been over 2 months since the teacher's contract expired, and the only real agreement is that nothing's been agreed upon.
We have not reached any common agreement on any of the issues.
Has anything been agreed upon? Are you on common ground on anything?
No, there's nothing been signed off on at this point.
And don't forget that the threat of a strike still hangs over the bargaining table.
Our patience is running thin. We need to conclude negotiations sooner than later.
Both sides will now spend the next few days considering the other's discipline plan. Now, they've come nowhere near talking about salaries or benefits. They're both going to sit down at the bargaining table again on Monday. Reporting live on Byrne Road, I'm Rebecca Rainier for 13 Action News.
Does the topic of student discipline mean anything in the talks? Well, 13 Action News reporter Paul Bookta continues our special team coverage live from the school administration building. Paul?
Well, negotiators for the Toledo School Board and for the Toledo Federation of Teachers would say no, there's no special significance to that. It's just the order in which they tackle the issues. But student discipline isn't exactly of primary importance when it comes to this negotiating. And we'll give you a tip. Once you hear of some other issues coming up, you'll know the talks are clipping along.
Nothing been signed off on at this point. We've had a
Nothing agreed to today, but there was
direct discussion on the student discipline issue, and those discussions are moving forward. Nothing.
Weren't there more issues than just student discipline in the fact finder's report, like evaluations, hirings, wages? What's the significance of student discipline?
There's no magic order to the priority. You can't discuss everything on any given day.
But one astute observer says there's a darn good reason that student discipline's being discussed now. Chuck Weinblatt of the University of Toledo says it's what the school board has or doesn't have to bargain with.
They've got one item that they can hold over the teachers' heads right now.
And that is?
Money. A multi-year contract.
So you could kind of think of the talks as going by ascending order of importance. First, there are the issues like discipline that are minor compared to the rest. And then there are major issues like evaluations, hirings, and building transfers. Finally, there are the issues we'll call super major: compensation and wages. Weinblatt says those are key words: compensation and wages.
So if you're looking for a sign as to when the negotiations might be nearing a close, look for the issue of compensation. The union would very much like to have a 3-year wage increase pact.
And we know by the numbers that it's a pact the TFT would like, which keeps pace with inflation. And in case you're doing the math, that was 9.6% that the fact finder found in the report over 3 years that the teachers agreed to. Now keep in mind that compensation and wages is a very big issue. In fact, the fact finder addressed this issue last, but that issue addressed last is of primary importance. Reporting live outside the Toledo Administration Building, Paul Bookta, 13 Action News.
Here are some more details on our top story. Both sides told 13 Action News that they've agreed upon a list of topics to discuss during their upcoming talks. Discipline, of course, is the first item on that list. And Union President Francine Lawrence told 13 Action News that the union's patience is running out.